All right, welcome to part 4 of the Drive Beyond Horizons playthrough. I'm your host, Heedless Ed. So, on the last episode, the game glitched out on us and all the loot on the map disappeared. And my buddy's car, he popped all of his tires. Flying Tie, also on YouTube. He popped all 4 of his tires and there was no loot, so it was sort of game over at that point. So, he's offline right now, but I'm on. I'm gonna fix my car first of all, put proper tires on it, and then also get him set up with a new vehicle as well. So when he logs back on, he's got his own car again. And hopefully it's the same one. Hopefully I can find another one of these Mustangs. All right, let's get right into it. Actually, I like to play with the podcast going. I've been listening to Opie and Anthony, like old clips. It's from like 10, 15 years ago, maybe more. Um, there's also Louis C.K. that I discovered. He was on the show many times, and he is absolutely hilarious. So let me listen to that while we play, because it's just me and I don't want to talk to myself. I've listened to this before. It's absolutely hilarious.
Reagan. We got Louis C.K. in the April 23rd, the Borgata Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. That's a great gig for Louis, and man, you should go see him. Obviously, I saw Louis. Oh, we talked about it the last time we were in at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
What an amazing show!
Thanks, man.
Just an amazing show. Yeah, it's perfect for
such
it.
a cool
Perfect for
place. It's
it.
the only place in Atlantic City that's.
It really is like Vegas, kind of that. It's got that Vegas vibe. It doesn't feel like I stayed in another hotel right on the boardwalk once, and it felt like I stepped
Is
into
the car
South
on?
Beach.
It feels like you're in Atlantic City.
Yeah, you know you're
It
in
is.
Atlantic City.
The Borgata can trick you into thinking, man, I took a fucking flight to Vegas.
I went to Vegas.
That's exactly the difference. Yeah.
There's some old diner waitress bringing the drinks at this other casino, bringing the drinks to the table, and you're just like, and then you look at the Borgata babes and shit walking around. They're just stunning.
No, the other Atlantic City places, it's like you're faced with the economy you're hurting with everything you do. There's supposed to be more of a buffer there.
Yeah.
Where you can get lost in it. But Atlantic City, the dealer looks at you like, thanks for fucking up my hometown, asshole. Would you like another card? Like they just look depressed.
God damn, that is it.
You know?
Yeah.
My father owned a house, and now I live in a fucking shack.
Right.
So that you could play blackjack.
I hope you're having fun.
Yeah.
Oh, look, blackjack.
I would hit on that, yes.
You so see the corruption. All you have to do is just drive around a little bit, less than a mile from those beautiful casinos.
Okay, there's a good start towards my buddy's new car.
No.
6-liter engine.
Sucked out.
It's like,
I don't know where that money's going.
It's another kind of tick, but it's a remote. It's like it doesn't even spread nearby.
No.
It's like a scientific taking money. It's like a tick that has a long distance sucker.
Yeah. They must have helicopters at night that literally lift it
the
up
money
into
out
the sky.
to make sure it does not touch
Even touch the local economy.
anybody
And
there.
the politicians, they obviously just look the other way.
Yeah.
It's like you're not even going
See if I
to
need
throw
some
a
petrol.
dollar into the economy.
No.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah, what are you mean? What are you trying to say?
What
What are you trying to say?
Who you saying is doing this?
What? You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
We're already in a weird spot with Donald Rumsfeld.
I bet he knows where that money goes.
You know what? I think Atlantic City's beautiful.
Oh,
Every
you
inch
gotta
of
go
it
there.
is beautiful.
The Borgata.
No, it's
Fantastic. Go see Louis.
Jobs. They got jobs.
They got jobs everywhere.
Jobs.
How many people they employ?
Jobs.
There weren't those jobs when it was before the casinos. I don't know.
No,
what
there
went
was
on
just
there.
a really kind of a nice area.
Steel Pier. What the hell happened?
Where someone could actually open a store and try to have a business instead of a job. But now they got jobs. They get to wear a vest and deal cards to fucking assholes and Gaddafis.
Yeah, Gaddafi.
They get to fucking...
Those condoms in for
Yeah, you mean people used to open up their own family business down there?
a teddy bear. I don't know what the fuck this is.
Delicatessen.
Oh,
Yeah, wherever the fucking wherever the Trump down there is does he have one down there?
Oh, he's got
yeah, he
the
does.
Taj
Trump
and the
Marina.
Marina. I don't know how much.
Yeah,
he
Trump
actually
Marina
really
is
owes.
sitting where some guy used to have an old fish restaurant. He had the restaurant from 1850 in his family, and now it's a fucking Trump Marina hotel.
It's right there.
I worked that fucking place, or is it Trump
I
Castle?
need
it
some
was
tires.
called? I don't know where that is
I
now.
think, I think they changed the name at
But
some point.
I worked at Trump Castle, and I remember just watching people. I had never really been down there before, and I'm just watching these fucking old ladies from around the country come on buses. Like from the middle of Ohio or Kentucky, literally.
Yeah,
Like you see
yep.
a bus that says like
Loser.
Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, another spin.
And they fuck... and these fucking old women come out of the bus, and they're they took a medical hit from the trip. Like you just see them, and they get out of these fucking buses they were in for hours, days.
Yeah. Blood just clotting in their legs.
Helping each, the 60-year-olds helping the 70-year-olds off the bus, and they go get shit rooms.
Yeah.
And then they pour buckets of fucking coins. All of their fucking retirement, all they got left, they just pour it in buckets into these machines, and then they leave. And then so I'm watching all this, and it all says Trump all over it. And then I was in an elevator, and Trump got on with Marla Maples at the time, and everyone was like, "Oh, there they are." They were really excited. They saw them. All the, "Oh my God, there's Trump and the woman he's fucking illicitly." And they get on the elevator, and Trump looked miserable. I was in the elevator alone with him, just by chance, and he just looked miserable. He looked so unhappy. And all that money, I realized there's a weird, he has all this billions of dollars, but he's fucking miserable because he needs 100 billion to look in the mirror and not want to kill himself. He needs that. These old ladies from Kentucky, they don't need anything. They have maybe $1,000 in the bank.
Right.
It's like they're coming. It's like a religion. Like they're coming to help him feel better. Like they're coming to give
I don't have one headlight.
Giving him the money.
He's like, I have $100 billion and I don't fuck everybody. It's not enough. And these old ladies are like, I have maybe 1,000. You can have all of it.
I'll give you all of it.
I'll take a bus all day.
I think it's off, but that's actually on.
Pumped it into
Okay.
our own economy where we live.
Yeah, I could have given it to my neighbor's store that closed.
All this way just to dump it into this
Make you a little
machine.
happier.
With the only buffer being this vague hope that I might leave
I
with
may be one of the trillion,
but it ain't gonna happen. So we'll just pour money.
I want to know more about the family fish business. The little restaurant.
That poor guy.
Let's forget that.
With his little boat. He would
Maybe a
just
little
go
bait
out
shop?
every day.
Bait shop on the pier.
He used to wipe off the table when you walked in, and he'd feel real proud.
Yeah. You'd smell like the ocean air. There's open windows in the summer.
What was his last day like, you think?
Wrecking ball.
A bunch of suits
A
and
wrecking ball
ties.
with the whole family just outside crying.
Yeah, and now in that exact same spot, it's ring, ding, 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 ding.
Hopefully this car.
Oh God, that's all you did. It was Donald Trump and a bunch of other guys in suits with golden shovels taking that photo of them breaking ground, and in back is the boarded up fish place just ready to be plowed asunder.
That was there for 150 years.
And it's not the fault of some corporations or Donald Trump. It's like Walmart kills all small town economies. But it's not Walmart's fault. It's the fault of the fucking people. I used to have a house upstate in upstate New York. And
That's
and
exactly what we're looking for. It couldn't be more perfect.
Old diners and general stores,
Mm-hmm.
and they all
Yeah,
closed
it's
one
already
by
got a
one because of Walmart.
5.6
And
in
it
it,
wasn't
but I've
fucking
got that
Walmart's
6 in
fault.
the
It was the
car.
people who live in that town
Yeah.
that don't give a shit
Oh, he's gonna be so
about their
happy.
neighbors.
But is it giving a
It's
shit?
the American basic consumer who's like,
In good
well,
condition
okay,
too.
I could spend 13 cents less on a mop.
Yeah.
So fuck my fucking neighbor. Fuck my neighbor who's had that store in his family for who's taken care. There was like a million George Bailey moments in that town's history where the whole I'll give a check to your baseball teams with names John's General Store.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the whole community coming together to do stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
that. I want to buy a Jim Carrey movie 3-pack for $7. So
Yeah.
fuck the old movie theater with a Wurlitzer organ.
But think
Cool.
of Blockbuster Video. Now that caused a big thing because
You
it
should
pretty much
still
closed
keep
down
this.
all the little mom and pop video stores.
Yeah.
Which was a great family business.
Which was a family business and
Yeah.
shit like that. I remember those things and having to go
Green
in and
lawn,
you'd have to
had
buy
nice
a
lawn.
membership fee when you
Yeah.
first get in. It was like $100,
And that was just to try to keep the stores.
yeah, to keep the store
alive.
open. But then Blockbuster came around. Now, what do you want to do? Go into the mom and pop and wait a week
Alright, it's
for
got
the
4 really
latest
nice
release?
Yeah,
tires
why
on
don't
it.
you? Why don't
Because
you
I
fucking
want
wait
it
a little
now.
bit?
I want it
So
now.
fuck the family that opened that store. And by
Yeah.
the way, fuck them that they used
I
to
want
think
the
about
seats
what
out of
movies
mine
you
just
might
make it
like.
perfect.
That you might walk in and they go, Anthony, you like comedies.
Anthony, we got a whole section for
Do
you.
you even know
Remember
who
that conversation
Francois
we had?
Tati
Right,
is?
right,
And they'd
right,
show you
right.
something that we went and found this. Blockbuster would never do that for you. Fuck them.
I agree with both of you, but
So that you can
the
save
local
a little bit of fucking money.
the local place that Ann's talking about, you had to wait for some asshole to
I'll
bring
just
back
keep
the
one of mine
nice
for
new
now.
movie.
It's
Yeah,
out. You'd be
and-
like, it's out. It's like, what?
When is it coming back? I want to watch that.
Yeah,
fucking
so
thing.
again,
and then Blockbuster
fuck
said,
the
"Fuck
ability.
that." The Blockbuster said, "Look, we could just put 100 copies on the shelf."
So you're thinking the whole loyalty thing should outweigh the convenience?
Absolutely, because you're supporting somebody who is there's a human being and a family who's living off that business, and they give a shit about you.
But given
By the way, where's Blockbuster? It's
I
fucking
know,
gone, so they leave a
because
vacuum.
digital
You can't rent a
delivery
fucking
now.
video anymore.
Yeah, but why would you? Digital
If-
delivery.
If there was video stores, you know why? It's like bookstores. A bookstore is not
They're going
just
away
a place
too, man.
where you can buy books. It's a place where somebody expresses themselves by deciding what books to put out there and what books they want to offer their community.
My little
Right.
teddy bear
And
friend.
that
Put him
gets
back in the
replaced
car.
by Barnes & Nobles, which means you get the same fucking books that every place in the world gets. I mean, not just America.
Right.
Every bookstore has exactly the same books now. I mean,
Yeah.
that's people don't realize what a massive.
Okay.
It used to be, you go to that
It's
bookstore,
got a
you're going to
little-
get some weird off-color
Need
books
some
of
water.
this kind, or you're going to get maybe a right-wing bookstore, a left-wing bookstore. That used to be how people
Tires, look at that. It's good for me.
and then so Barnes Nobles comes, and the difference is a family business will hang on through the tough years if they have half a chance.
Yeah.
But a corporate business will go, oh, we're not making it $10 trillion. Just pull up stakes, and they're gone. So now there's no more fucking bookstores.
That's fucking
Or video stores. Yeah.
No bookstores, no video stores.
Right.
Yeah.
The big Barnes Noble on the Upper West.
But
Yeah,
given-
because those are predatory businesses. And
Given
if-
your thinking, though, wouldn't we never progress? Like, wouldn't
who's progressing? That's the
Well,
That's
I mean,
not
with
progression.
I mean, with everything. Like, wouldn't we not look at the automotive business, which
Yeah.
is horrible now, of course, because of the outsourcing and everything. But
I really
early
need
on,
to
there were guys
organize the
working those
refract.
lines.
It's starting to bother me.
What about the technology to come in and use robots that did eliminate jobs, but it makes the car
Let's
better
just fill
and
up both these water
faster and-
jugs.
and-
Yeah, but
and-
that's
think
exactly
about
the
water
thing.
for a
These
while.
things like bookstores and video stores, they weren't improved. They were destroyed. And
which one?
a
This
book
one?
is not a car. It's not a product that needs to be perfected like a technology. It's about having a way of life.
But now you just download it on Kindle.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's-
exactly, but it's rubbed out a whole getting out of your house and going to a bookstore, meeting the bookstore guy and other people. You used to get fucking laid by going to bookstores. And the way that people used to get laid is by going to a bookstore and standing in a section that makes you look smart. And then a chick comes around.
Yeah.
Oh, do you also like this
really?
book?
Oh,
Sure.
I'm perusing this.
Yeah,
What
you
do you
can't
got
do that
there?
anymore. When I grew up in Boston, and there was a
Wow.
place in Harvard Square called the Coffee Connection, and this was a place that was obsessed with coffee, and they had coffees from all around the world, and they'd have stuff like you'd get like a cappuccino, and they'd shave chocolate onto it, not like a canister of chocolate powder.
It took time. I mean, it's like,
They had a cheese grater and a block of chocolate, and they'd shred chocolate onto the fucking thing for you. That's like how good it was.
You sound like my grandfather. It's my grandfather talking to me. You don't even understand
No, you
the
have
old
no idea.
days.
I know the
you
point
were
is about to
hungover,
make,
you go to
man.
the fucking Coffee Connection and you'd sit there like trembling, and they'd bring you this thing that would just change your life. Or they go, hey, you want to try Turkish? We have a new Turkish coffee today. It's a weird
that
thing.
sounds good.
Never tried it. So then Starbucks opens down the street, but this Coffee Connection hangs on. So Starbucks opens another one, like on the other side of them. Starbucks isn't doing so great that they can open another one. They're just trying to fucking kill.
Oh, shit.
So they open like 5 within a block of the place until Coffee Connection goes, this is getting hard. And they sell themselves. They go, let's just be a Starbucks.
Yeah.
So then
It's
Starbucks
like
buys
gas
them
cow.
and then closes the other ones, and then you're just left with fucking just one choice. You get Starbucks.
And the quality of Starbucks is horrible.
It's
now.
okay, and the
It
instant
was
Starbucks
all right
is
when they
making
first-
a profit, they'll give up, and then there
Huh?
won't be a fucking place to even get coffee.
Right, then we go
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
having no coffee again.
No coffee.
He's right.
So,
I remember
wow,
I remember the lumber stores. I remember we did a lot of renovation on our old house because we had 7 kids, small house, and we were constantly
What the
adding rooms and this and that.
Mom and Pop lumber shop.
Mom and Pop.
Yeah.
I would get in the car with my dad. I remember like it was yesterday. We'd go to the local lumber guy. He knew my dad's first name.
okay.
We got this for you. We made your pile.
That's
and
really
put
cool,
yours.
actually.
And
Yeah.
Guess my car just doesn't have that cover yet.
I'll help you out. You need that
Never
for
had
the
to think
joists.
about it.
But it was a social thing too, man. How are the kids and
Lumber
how are
stores
your
were
kids? And
very social.
right, and then the Home
Don't
Depot.
get 'em
It's
started.
a fucking massive warehouse, and no one wants to fucking help you.
Inhumane.
You're
And
just
there's
mad right when you walk
sad
in.
people working there.
Right.
Yeah. The buying of the lumber is not a happy exchange. It used to be that you could say to yourself, you know what, if I invest in a good saw and I get some trucks, I could go out and get some fucking poplar and cut it well, and people will come here and build fucking houses with it.
Yeah.
And you go and you go, hey, you got some nice poplar, not as good as Joe Wilson's. Yeah, well, mine is down 3 cents.
Right.
Well, I'll buy yours then. This was like and
So
by the way,
Pa
we
Ingalls.
don't improve through this shit.
No.
We actually don't. It's like, it's what happens is the second place product always wins by being more vicious.
To
Yeah,
take
like
over
Microsoft versus Apple.
Right.
Microsoft is bullshit software. It's hard compared to Apple.
No, believe me.
It's horrible, but Bill Gates is a capitalist, and he was vicious, and he fought Apple, and so for some years anyway.
Yeah.
America lived on shitty computer technology because of his
It was a point where
ambitions.
we all thought Apple was gone.
Yeah, it's
It was
VHS
dead.
versus Beta. Beta
Yeah.
is still used today.
Nope.
Beta videotape is still what most TV shows are shot on.
Yeah.
And we all
Alright.
watch VHS tapes because the VHS people said, we make the second best.
Wow,
so we're
it's
gonna
nice in here.
be
It's
cut
mint.
and fucked up and pay off people and go to litigation.
Wants to.
Sue Beta.
Anyway.
Beta's like, we're making the best thing. We can't even get people to buy it. And so everyone gets VHS. It's
Unbelievable.
Tesla and fucking Edison. It's
Edison
always
and Tesla, yeah.
one guy's a genius
If
and is
it backs
selling
up.
a beautiful thing. Second place guy copies it, doesn't do it as well.
Does,
and then
okay.
takes him to court in
Guy
every
over.
fucking state in America and muscles him and fights him and
Ruins
outdraws
his
him.
credibility.
So how many
Some
gauges?
fucking Texan to pay for it. And then we all have to
Right.
buy the shitty product.
You're fucking brilliant.
It's true. It's
that-
the same with cars.
You're-
They would be better if what you're saying was actually true.
If it was like the guys still on the assembly
No.
line.
What's there?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're laying
Your
around here
coffee
somewhere.
story is deeply depressing.
It is what
It
happens
was,
everywhere.
I was thinking as you were talking about that, like the Starbucks popping up are like weeds,
Yes.
taking out the really nice fucking crop.
Yeah,
nice
that's
flowers.
what they do.
They're
And
just,
they're only
just
interested
putting
in the
weeds all over the place
That's right.
to destroy it.
That's right. And they don't even make money. Like Harvard Square is a good
I
example.
love Harvard Square. It's
Those
been a while,
You
but I love
will
that
love
place.
it next time you go.
It's been years.
So there used to be a place called the Tasty and like the First House, all these places that have been there from the 1900s. It's a Sunglass Hut and an Abercrombie and Fitch now. And I was talking to one of the local business guys who owns a cigar store. He's like the last guy left.
Look at you.
No, I'm
Talking
this
to
shit
the local
fascinates me.
businessman.
And I asked him, "Are you going to go under too?" And he said, you know what? Because he went to Harvard Business School and then he opened his little cigar store.
business. Oh, God.
He said Abercrombie and Fitch and Harvard Square doesn't even make a profit. They lose money every day. they're not that store. The rent is so high for what they built there that they can't. If they could sell jeans all day, they're not going to make a profit. They're not there to make a profit. It's just a billboard. It's a 3D billboard. It's there so that you'll buy Abercrombie online. And to keep it visible
in your mind, in your head.
How nice is
It's
this?
like the Nike store on 50th or what. All those stores, they don't make a fucking dime. They lose money every day.
It's worth having a giant
global
billboard. It's like a billboard.
Yeah.
That you walk into.
That's how far away this is from like.
You know,
guy
sponge.
has an idea,
Right.
puts it out there.
I love it. This
Folks love it.
It's like a lot of sponges.
It's not even.
Wow.
We're not even close to that anymore.
No, like I'm nostalgic for the guy who started Wendy's. Like that's now like a great American. He's like a revolutionary.
A great American story,
Yeah.
or Ray Kroc from McDonald's.
Yeah, he's like Che Guevara or whatever his name is. Like,
I think I should take this.
Man.
They're sort of making a comeback, but remember just the local burger joint was
It's
cool.
fucking nice.
Are they making a comeback?
A little bit. You see more burger joints popping up. Maybe they're a part of a whole corporate thing, but they.
Well, like in New York, there's Five Guy Burgers here.
Right. But when we were growing up, every
purple
town had
paint
its
in
local
here.
burger guy, and they bragged about their burger, and it was better than the guy's burger from the next town over, and then you watch those slowly. The one in Huntington, the Choo Choo hamburger place.
Right.
And their thing was, well, we'll bring your burger on a nice fucking train right in front of you.
Right.
It's
Oh,
a
here
little
comes my order.
electric
You
train.
see it fucking rocking the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it comes around and stops at your, your counter spot.
Well, that's what
And
it
that
used to be
thing-
like when things were more spread out. That everyone had to have their own idea of here's
Right.
here's why you
Gimmick.
want to come here.
And then I think,
Instead of like, if you come here, it doesn't matter because we're across the street too.
right.
Fuck you, just eat this shit. You think it's gonna get better once these big companies take
They're
over?
sponges.
The product goes down.
What do
They
you
don't
think
have to
about
compete anymore.
like online purchasing then? You must do a lot of that though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
No, I think that's probably the next version of it is that you can throw together a little product and sell it online.
And just be the mom and pop online
Yeah, 'cause
thing.
you don't need a store anymore.
And then someone will figure out how to fuck that over.
They can polish the engine.
It's not real estate. You can't take over. You can't push somebody off the internet.
Yeah,
They'll always be there.
that's true, but you can
No,
be
they'll-
better online.
Yeah, they'll make
or
you-
the bigger and
They'll make you have the website with .org.
Yeah.
they'll give you
Just
a
make it
dot
harder to
something
find,
that no one
right.
does. But if you're
Right.
like a mom and
Dark.
pop thing and you're selling, like, say,
Shit.
electronics, so, you'd be like, oh, great, they don't have that. Let me go to Best Buy's website.
Fucking
And-
No, that's absolutely true. That's hard.
Yeah.
Hard to sell.
Yeah.
Just to add to the discussion, I used to be a big music store guy, and every music store was a little different. And this guy, if you got to know him, he's like, I got some fucking bootlegs you might want to
That's
see.
right.
And it's completely illegal, and we know it, but I've seen you in this place enough
think
times
it's
that
time
I
to
know you're
fix
not a
the
rat, so
tires
why
on
don't you
my
follow
car
me?
now.
Well, that's
Remember that
exactly
shit?
it. Guys like Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop becoming
I
popular.
would like to
was
figure
a
out why
good
I can't
thing,
reverse
I
this
think for
ball.
America, it's a good thing for the American voice that guys like that would. But the reason he came up was because certain record stores would go, I'm fucking digging Iggy Pop, and I'm gonna sort of take a gamble that my customers will like him.
Right.
So they'd order like, give me 10 Iggy Pop, 12 inches, and they'd put them out there.
Right.
And the kid with the leather jacket, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
I'd try him out, kid. You, all right, old man, fuck you, And he'd try Iggy Pop, and he'd go, holy motherfucking shit. And all of a sudden, Iggy Pop is flying off the shelf.
When I was growing
But
up,
now, if you're not on fucking iTunes, like the whole country has to make one decision of who we like. There's no sort of local guy. That's a massive,
Reverse
massive
just
difference in
doesn't
how
work.
culture grows.
I just loved when I was growing
Try
up. I
something.
would go to the Village and all those underground record stores. I would spend all afternoon there, and every place had something a little different.
So what does this
and
do?
bootleg like concert shirts and
Like,
Yeah, well,
what's
you know
the
what it
bottom
does?
line of what this does
No
to
one
society?
even young people don't even consider the idea that it's a good idea to be out in the fringe, which is where good ideas come
It's
from.
just a little
Like
pedal
people
in
are
there.
almost like begging the government to take over and the corporations to take over your life. Like people are excited that when you take a picture of yourself on your phone and put it online, it says where the
No.
fuck you live. Why are people excited about that?
Yeah, what is that?
Like I remember when Easy
The
Pass
car's
first
just
happened.
damaged.
Everyone was like, I don't want everybody knowing when I went
So
to
you just
the
damaged.
Lincoln Tunnel. Like, what are you, fucking carrying secret documents? Who the fuck gives a shit about you?
Right.
But people used to think that way.
right.
Cameras in Central Park for crime? Yeah, but what about my privacy? But now people are like, guess what? If I take a picture and send it to somebody, the whole world knows exactly where I was.
where I was at that
And
given
I can
moment.
store all of everything I have on a computer in North Carolina. And I don't even have to. And they get to have all my stuff. And Facebook knows who all my friends are and what I've said to all of them. Every single fucking conversation I've ever had is a public record in the fucking Library of Congress. Yay! Cool.
That is fucked up.
Isn't that cool?
And we worried about easy pass off mere 3
Yeah, I
years
know.
ago.
People are
3
excited.
years ago, right.
It's
Everything
true.
you tell somebody, I think I might be pregnant. It's in the Library of Congress
Now it's
now.
forever.
Cool. And there's a fucking geotag on it saying where you were standing when you fucking said it. a fucking coordinate. Yeah. A global coordinate.
Fucking
Of where you were
latitude
standing.
and longitude
Why do people? Why
of
would
when
you
you
want
said that
But we
and
didn't
when
want to
you
use
took a picture.
But we didn't want
No.
to use easy pass 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That is really
It's
fucked
sick.
up. It is
Classic.
really fucked up.
You
when
have
think
to
of
belong to a fucking club to listen to a song. You have to have a credit card to like listen to a song. You can't go buy a record and play it. You have to. If you fucking lose your
Brand new
credibility
tires. It's good to see you.
and your iTunes account gets suspended, you can't play any of your music on anything.
You're done.
You can't listen now where it's on satellite radio. You have to
That looks like a
subscribe.
golf cart
It's-
tire.
Listen to the radio.
This one's good.
Like the only way to listen to music without being a credible American citizen with a credit card and belonging to a corporation, the only way you can fucking whistle. That's about the only way.
That's how you're gonna hear the song.
That's the
is
only-
whistling to yourself.
The only time you can, unless you want to join some.
Yeah, because there are a lot
Oh,
of
you can't grab them.
music stores don't even
Brutal.
carry
Thought I just hit the jackpot there for a
stores.
second.
Music stores,
It's
you
like-
got to go to Best Buy.
And
Yeah.
they got their CD section, which is
Sort of.
dying out. It's being pushed.
Yeah, and it's
pushed
just
away.
and it's just a reflection of what's on iTunes
Yeah,
and
and
what's
you don't
on
have-
yeah, there's
Amazon.
nothing.
You don't have a
nothing
guy
new there.
taking care of that section, so it's all just kind of willy-nilly.
You're
It's
not
just-
finding something
depressing.
new and eclectic.
No.
The problem,
there.
and
Oh,
the
there we go.
problem is what Louis is getting at is with corporate America, only a few of the people in corporate America actually make the money. And
And
everyone
the
else is
decision.
just slaves to that
Yeah.
fucking corporation.
And they're not even American. I mean, it's all
Right.
offshore. All the companies
Right.
are unaccountable and they're offshore. And most of them are foreign owned anyway.
Yeah.
Go with
yeah.
the Tower Records. Each Tower Records probably was easily 10, mom and pop record stores.
Yep.
And those
Yeah.
guys were actually making a real living. And now, like you said about Atlantic City, Tower Records moves in, and now you used to make a living. Now you're just working for that schmuck.
Yep. And then
Making a
Tower
lot
Records
less.
is gone.
Tower's
So they
gone.
leave a vacuum. It's
Right.
not even this idea that everybody's like, yeah, but come on, but this is good for what?
The
It's like-
convenience is
It's
nice.
like locust. It's like a locust.
benefiting?
They
Right.
just
Yes.
come in,
Right.
eat it all, and then they're gone, and
Right.
nothing's left.
And
Yeah,
Starbucks-
I know, but still, it's if we didn't do that,
Progress.
you wouldn't have the thing that
Wouldn't have the polio vaccine.
the cars run worse than they did in the 70s.
And I could go
You
back.
need a computer to fix one.
Yeah, you can't work on your car. anymore.
No.
That's true too. You cannot pop the hood on your fucking car
No.
and work on it.
Fool
I
around a
remember.
little bit.
I remember
Yeah.
if your car stalled, you would ease over to the shoulder and you lift
Tinker.
the hood.
Yeah,
and you
fuck
look,
around with it.
and you'd
Exactly
be like,
right.
you'd be like, all right, I know enough about the distributor. I think this
Yeah.
is something. I think maybe.
See if that's tight.
Yeah, I think
Jiggle
maybe
on this a little
my
bit.
points. My
I'm gonna
points
jiggle
are
this
touching.
cord. Right.
Yes.
I'm gonna gap it with a matchbook cover.
You could
That'll get me
actually
home.
do that.
That'll get me home. It'll run a little fucked up, but that'll get me home. Yeah, you
If
could
you knew
do
where the
that.
fuel pump was, you could jiggle it a little bit.
Yeah,
You could
give it a little
throttle.
knock.
Now,
If you car didn't start, you'd hit the starter a little bit, and then brrr,
I
it'd
had
start
a
up.
'68 Mustang, and I used to fix it. I worked in a garage when I was
What the
younger,
fuck?
and I used to fix it. So I like the fuel pump.
Okay.
would go- like the fuel pump that was in there since 1968
Well,
died in like 1993.
you only use that rim over here.
And then I put in a new fuel pump, and
Yeah.
that fuel pump died in 1995.
Nope.
And
It's
I
all
went
one
through
piece.
3 fuel pumps on that car. Same every part of it.
Ah,
The
shit.
starter that this car was that was put in by some fucking heavy Michigan hands in 1968 when I was 1 year old. Some
I will
fucking
do
guy
until
with
I
a
get to the
cigarette
next
dangling
stop.
put that starter in,
Yeah.
and then went to a very beautiful home in Flint, Michigan, which is
Oh,
now
yes.
a fucking crack house. He's been dead for years.
His white picket fence. His
Yes.
wife was waiting for him to come home.
And then finally, that starter that he fucking personally tightened every part of finally just went, I can't do it anymore, and died in 1994.
Yeah.
And then I took it out, and it was heavy, and it was beautiful. It was like a piece of art. And then I put it in
Just
with
need
this.
one
I
more
put in
small
this
tire
thing I got
with
at
the
a
rim.
parts store, and I asked them. I said,
Or
"Give
just
me
a
the
rim."
best starter that available and they gave me this starter, and the metal it was made out of is some weird composite. You could see like Coke can pieces in it. And I put it in
Seriously?
weigh anything,
Nothing in this
and I
pile?
stuck it in, and it lasted like 6 months.
Yeah.
And it just came apart.
When you used to
That's
drop
progress.
the starter motor, it was like when you pulled those bolts out.
Yeah.
Good joke. It was heavy.
Yep.
And then the new one, you're holding up with one arm as you're threading the fucking bolt.
Look at
Look
the
You're right.
Look at the
Yeah,
picture
that's
Danny
a lot
just
to
found.
do.
You
I
can't
think
work
it's the same
on
size
that.
as big ones.
That's what you see now.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a big block with a logo on it.
Right.
That's it.
That's a Cadillac.
It looks
Powered
like
by Cadillac.
It looks like it just all melted together. You can't get at it.
It's
No,
all
you
just
can't.
cowling that they put
There
on
we
so
go.
you dare not even look
No.
and see what's under there. You can't work on it because it's all computerized.
Now if your car
You
breaks
gotta hook
down,
a computer up to it in a corporate place.
if it breaks down, you're lucky enough to get out of your own car.
Yeah.
Might not
You'd be
even
lucky
get
if
out
you
of it.
Right. You'd be lucky if you could at least leave the car.
Yeah.
Holy
I keep
shit.
going back to the coffee thing because I was a big coffee guy as well.
Yeah.
And when Starbucks did hit, it made it convenient that there were more nice coffee places around because you really had to search them out, like you were talking about.
Right.
And I didn't live anywhere near Harvard Square, so a Starbucks was
Two tires in the
nice
roof.
instead
Wow.
of shitty diner coffee.
Right.
But then
Idiot.
Starbucks didn't care about their product in the end. At
No.
first, the coffee was amazing.
Yeah,
But you've watched it drop over the years.
Yeah, they had to.
They had to compete.
Well, that's
Now
good
you know
luck,
the
though.
beans they're getting have to be just shitty.
Of course they are.
They have to be. It's
They're
just-
not
This
going to
one's
work
alright.
hard for your money.
Why would they?
I explain
At
this
first,
shit
they
to my-
needed your money, so they worked hard for
In
it.
despair.
I explain this shit to my kids all the time because we'll go
That
off
is
the
a
beaten
rip.
path. We'll go 3 blocks over and spend 40 more cents. That what are we doing with this precious money? That people are like, well, I'm saving so that I can buy some fucking video game, have a video game experience for 10 seconds that evaporates from my existence later. What are we saving the money for? But we go a few blocks over, spend a few more cents to go to like a butcher.
Yeah.
Instead of going to, that just Price Chopper, we go to a fucking New York
Very
City butcher.
sad.
Yeah.
Where the guy's got a red face. How you doing, my man? And
Fucking
it,
blood all over his fucking little apron that he's wearing.
gets his steaks from a fucking place where there's like a direct line from the cow to the
slaughterhouse,
steak.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, instead of this fucking ShopRite, probably some human parts in the steak thing.
I was going to somebody go, oh, you want to get something for lunch? Let's go to like Subway or something. I'm like, why would you not just go to a deli, and get a real sandwich made on a hero roll that was in a bakery that morning, and the driver took it over to
A place where they're not going to measure the meat.
Nice.
And it's
I
like,
remember I was
a guy
all pre-cut.
where the local guy goes, oh,
Sucks.
Anthony, you've been a good customer. Here's a few extra slices. The
Yeah.
Subway, they actually weigh their meat and their
Yes.
tomatoes to make
Terrible.
sure it's the proper weight.
I was in a Subway once somewhere in Arizona. And I was driving across the country, and I stopped. And it was a Subway inside of a fucking Sunoco station. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
And
boy.
there was the fucking kid working there. Was this depressed-looking kid with that he cut his own hair like there was chunks. Cut his own hair, skinny fucking just depressed-looking, pale.
Alright, I want to save this
American.
car before
And
I
the kid
go.
he's serving is this exact same person.
Oh, shit.
Like he's just barely, just different colors.
Or at least just don't want to lose it when I
like in
leave.
Star Wars, there was R2-D2, but then there'd be like a red version of it. Like
I'm
the
just
red
not sure what
R2-D2.
the
It just
deal is in this game. Like if I drive down the road for a while,
sauce do you want on? And he's like, and
it'll
like,
just disappear.
I guess I'll go ahead and get the green one. And he's making it for him, and I wanted him to say, should I just eat it too? Does it even make a difference which one of us eats it? Like everyone's just on one side of the counter or the other. There's no identity
here we go.
to any
Park
American.
your
The only
same vehicle.
identity you have is what your sauce choice is.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing
damn.
you get now is like, well, I particularly like.
You do make this grim
number 2
kind of
sauce.
image of I don't see this going to
Oh,
a good
sounds so good.
place.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
not.
No, it's not.
The only good thing that could happen is that it all falls.
That it just all
It all
collapses.
dies, and everyone has to
then
look around them and go, what could I piece together and
maybe
sell?
maybe
Right,
recycle
right.
For my
itself a
friends.
little bit, maybe.
Post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
lifestyle
Would
kind
be
of
terrific.
Yeah.
We got a timing issue, so we're going to take a break because we got Rummy calling
Oh,
right at 8:30.
Oh boy.
What happened?
Just rummy.
Donald Rumsfeld.
Can't wait.
His new book, Known and Unknowns.
Here comes Rumsfeld.
So we think we'll know some of the
All
unknown.
right, I'm gonna shut up now.
You think he's gonna
So you can
mess with
listen to
the
Rumsfeld
unknown?
with Louis C.K. because this is absolutely hilarious.
Opie and Anthony fellas stuff
Yeah.
that I never told anyone.
There's the show I'm going to break all the news on. Yeah.
More with Louis C.K. He's just
Now's a good time as any to tell them that Gerald Ford is still alive. Why not? Why not these guys?
Why don't we ask him that weird shit then? See what he says.
About Roswell.
Louis killing this morning, and Louis C.K. is going to be at the Borgata April 23rd. For tickets, go to borgata.com. B-O-R-G-A-R-T. No, that's not it.
What?
It's misspelled the website, right?
That's awesome.
Borgata.
There's no R in the end of Borgata, right?
Borgata.
Google it.
No, it's BORGATA.com for tickets
You know
for
what?
Louis C.K.
If you have a computer to go online, right?
Right.
Just Google the fucking thing.
Borgata.
Like I never
Does
understand.
anybody
It's like,
need to know
how
the
do you
website?
Spell it like really kind of anything you can't spell.
Even
Just throw it in.
The browsers finally, you just put it in the URL.
Right,
Someone
right.
figured out these fucking people don't get it.
They said, "Hey, dummy, this is how it's really spelled."
Just write it with your finger on the screen. And
Right, we'll figure it
I
out.
don't even use like dictionary.com or like Merriam-Webster. I'll just go to Google, type in the word that I know I'm misspelling,
Yes.
and it says, "Did you mean the correct spelling?"
Now you know the correct.
Now I know.
Yeah.
We
And you
need
don't
our
even need
brains
to know it.
anymore.
You can continue spelling it wrong after that.
You know, you used to
Doesn't
have
matter.
to go to a library and speak to the librarian about that.
That's right.
And she would direct you to a book. That's
right.
Libraries
Help you
used to
out.
be kind of cool too. Man.
Libraries.
In New York,
to
it's
go to
very
that.
different. It's just that's where homeless people shit now.
Do you-
We're at a
Yes.
library.
Oh, speaking of which, we got the bench story.
Oh, yes.
Right.
With the
And
drugs and the sex.
One last thing. Encyclopedias. The house that had the encyclopedias, but then they would become dated so quickly that a few short years later, borders move and people take over power. And you just read these encyclopedias. But that was like your internet.
That
That
right.
was the only information you were able to get at the drop of a hat was in your encyclopedias in your house. You used to sit there and toil if you didn't know something and couldn't find it out in your house through some kind of book or
Well,
newspaper.
by the way,
you didn't know it.
Where this stuff is good is things like the internet, because if you lived in, Oshkosh, Michigan or someplace, you weren't going to get a cool book. You weren't going to get Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. You weren't going to get an Iggy Pop album.
Right.
You were going to get a Pat Boone album and whatever, and Encyclopedia Britannica. That's it. You had to live on that.
Yeah.
But hey,
Now-
you throw on a leather jacket and leave town. Fucking, what's your problem?
Yeah, get off
You
the
gonna stay in
farm.
your house?
Get off the farm.
Louis, just great social commentary today. Holy shit.
love it.
You opened my eyes to a bunch of shit. Quick break. Donald Rumsfeld next. Stay there.
SiriusXM, the virus. This is the Opie and Anthony Show. Opie and Anthony Show.
We got to go right to the phone
Oh, my God. Turn that music down.
and welcome Donald Rumsfeld to the Opie and Anthony Show.
Sir? Hello, sir?
Yes, indeed. How are you?
Very good. Very good. What a pleasure to talk to you. Donald Rumsfeld's new book, Known and Unknown, a memoir. I've been looking through this. Fascinating stuff because you have been a part of history in this country for many years, known many presidents. Welcome to the show, Mr. Rumsfeld.
Well, thank you. It's a little embarrassing to discover that I've lived 1/3 of the history of our country.
1/3 the history, and been involved in a lot of things that have gone on through history. Very
Indeed.
important.
I want to mention that all the proceeds that I receive from the book are going to go to the troops and their families.
Oh, that's nice. I thought what you were going to mention was you know exactly where we live and to be nice.
Oh, Opie. It's not. Where are you right now? Are you just at home?
No, I'm in New York City.
Oh, okay.
Last night I was on the Jon Stewart show.
Right. There was a. How did that go? Because John is a little liberal, I would say.
Well, he comes at things from that direction, but he is very smart, very quick.
Yeah.
And it was a good discussion. I was pleased to be there.
Yeah.
Have you ever been interviewed where you got upset with how it went and then actually did anything to exact revenge on the person?
Never.
Why would he do that, Louis?
don't know.
That's Louis C.K.
Because you know, if you're a man of power, it's got to be an interesting thought at least.
Well, no. What you do is you think to yourself, what might I have done differently? You've got to expect people to come at you because in our wonderful country, everyone can have their own opinion, and goodness knows they can have intense opinions. But I find that if they have intense opinions that are opposite to mine, there's an awful lot of people who have intense opinions that are very much like mine.
Now, you have been in front of a lot of the press over the years, and you've learned how to kind of deflect certain questions and handle the press. So I guess interviews are pretty easy for you?
Well, I enjoy it. I think it's important that people, put their views out there so that we have a competition of ideas and the American people can sift through it and make their own judgments.
Yeah, absolutely. When did you first get inside? And by inside, I mean, the kind of inner circle of power in the government, especially during the Cold War. When did you just go from a military guy into becoming kind of an enigma, kind of a person of power and on the inside? How did that happen?
Well, I don't have any idea. I was a Navy pilot. I knocked on a job working for a congressman in Washington. I never met a congressman. And then I ran for Congress and served during the Kennedy and Johnson era. And then I was in Nixon's cabinet and Ford's cabinet and worked for Reagan as a special envoy to the Middle East, and then George W. Bush's cabinet. It just kind of all happened over the decades, and suddenly I'm 78 years old.
But so haven't you, how does it feel to have, you've probably accumulated a lot of things that you know that you'll never tell anybody on the planet Earth, right?
Well, not really. I'm interested in history. I love to read biographies, which is one of the reasons I took 4 years and wrote the book and tried to discuss what it was like being inside and how the decisions are made and how complicated they are when they reach the senior levels of government. I also created a website, Rumsfeld.com, where we've put hundreds of documents, thousands of pages from throughout my life so that people can read them and check things in the book. For example, if I quote a paragraph off a memo in the book, you can go to the website and read the whole memo.
Oh, okay.
But you must have lived moments where you were like, holy cow, no one but me and these two people are ever going to know this happened. And it had a massive impact on history.
Well, there certainly are times like that, but over time, almost everything comes out. And there are moments when what's going on inside the White House is very sensitive and very private. But within any reasonable period of time, the much of what goes on becomes public, and the American people look at it.
Yeah. Do you look at how do you see your legacy based on your career with George W. Bush? Do you see yourself as a fall guy? Do you see yourself as somebody looked upon as evil? And do you think it affects what you've done before that? Because I see you as a very patriotic guy that served his country well and still does. But some people, based especially on your experience with George W. Bush, see you as an evil guy. How do you accept that?
Well, I know who I am. I know what I've done, and one of the reasons I wrote the book was to try to get out there what the arguments pro and con were, so people can look at them. And I've taken on tough jobs. I've had to make tough decisions, and when you do that, you can expect people are going to disagree strongly. It doesn't come as a great surprise to me, I suppose, having lived so many decades.
Yeah, were you disappointed, though, with the way your career ended with George W. Bush's administration?
No, I think he made the right decision, and I made the right decision. I think once one of the houses of Congress went to the other party, the next 2 years would have been hearings, and people would have tried to go after the Bush administration through me. And I decided it would be better for the military, better for the Pentagon, better for the president and the administration if I left, and the president and I were very much in agreement.
But doesn't that kind of leave you hanging out to dry, is what I'm saying, and looking bad, like you did something very wrong?
No, I don't feel that way, and I don't think history will suggest that, and I don't think that serious people interested in what went on, who go to the website and read the book carefully, will feel that way. I think these are complicated issues, and we took on tough jobs. We spent every waking moment trying to protect the American people, and we put in place some structures that, lo and behold, almost a decade later, there's not been another successful attack on America. Now that's worth something, and I think
I agree. I agree with you. And the book, Known and Unknown, a memoir, Donald Rumsfeld, it's out there. And does this kind of open up who you are as a person? Because I don't think people really know you as a person. They see you and have seen you at press conferences and whatnot, and kind of see you as I don't know, a very mysterious guy, and that kind of scares people.
Well, I don't feel mysterious. I think what you see is what you get, and I think that the book, it does open up my life, my family life, my circumstance, where I came from a small town in Illinois, went to college on a scholarship, and was a wrestler and a person who loves the country and is so grateful to have had so many opportunities to serve.
It's interesting, though, because there are people who think, I mean, here's a guy who met Eisenhower as a congressman, right?
I was running for Congress, exactly.
And worked for Ford and Nixon and Reagan and both Bushes. And there's still those people out there that think, Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney are actually lizards. Who, I mean, literally, there's people that think they're lizards from outer space.
Yeah, that's true.
Who eat human flesh. I don't know if anybody's ever asked you directly, sir, but are you a lizard?
I don't think.
Are you actually? Can you just please give that a straight answer? Are you a lizard person?
Louis a little left-leaning,
No,
sir.
I'm not. Let him answer. Are you a lizard?
Here's the short answer. I'm in New York City. I walk down the street, people walk up, shake hands, stop me, they want an autograph, want to get a photograph with me. Go to eat last night at dinner, and Joyce and I were sitting there in the little Italian restaurant, and a man came up and said he'd like to buy my dinner, and I refused. And it turns out I paid for my dinner. The next thing I know, the waiter comes back and said the man insisted to pay for your dinner, and here's your canceled receipt for paying.
Oh, wow, that's very nice.
There's plenty of people that...
You didn't answer the question.
He's not going to
I think you're
dignify...
hanging around with the wrong people.
He's not
What the fuck kind of explanation was that? Seriously.
Are you a lizard, Louis?
Why not?
Because he's not a lizard.
What is the story about getting somebody paid for your dinner? I would pay for a lizard's dinner.
I think I understood the fact that there are people out there that appreciate what he's done as a leader. And
there's plenty of evidence that this guy is a well-decorated and appreciated American. And he has more credibility than almost anybody.
Exactly.
But I just want to know if he's a lizard.
He's not a lizard. Stop it. I want to apologize, Mr. Rumsfeld. Louis C.K. is a stand-up comedian, and I do not share his ideology one iota.
Matter of fact, we're meeting him for the first time. We don't even really know him. So we apologize.
Exactly.
It's usually just me and Anthony. But we said, what the hell, we'll try out this local comedy.
Mr. Rumsfeld, I want to ask you a little bit about the situation that's going on now in the Middle East. You are an envoy to the Middle East. What do you see happening there? What's your take on the whole situation?
Well, I think what's happening is that we had good relations with many of the governments in there, in that region, and it was contributing to a stable situation with respect to the generally hostile attitude towards Israel, because an important country like Egypt had a peace treaty with Israel, and that was a valuable thing that Sadat did and Mubarak stuck with. The problem is that those countries did not move towards freer political systems and freer economic systems as rapidly as they should have, and the people are looking for opportunities. There's a very large population that are young, and they don't have jobs, and they don't see opportunities, and they look around the world on television or Facebook or something, and they see other countries where people are doing well, and they become dissatisfied. So you have these kinds of turmoil and popular revolution. Now the problem is that take Lebanon, for example. There was a popular revolution.
Yeah, the Hamas
Hezbollah ended up taking over and a terrorist organization and repressed it.
Right.
The same thing in Iran.
Now, isn't that a worry? Like, especially when you have a revolution as they did in Egypt. Not a revolution, but protest, whatever you want to call it. The guy's gone. Without having another guy to put in there, isn't there a worry as America as to who's going to be there and what kind of government's going to be in place?
Absolutely. Everyone ought to be concerned, not just our country, but Europe and Israel and the neighboring countries. If the problem is that you can have a popular protest and revolution, and the winner is not the people that are looking for greater opportunity. The winner often is a minority group that is very disciplined, very well organized, and very vicious, like Hezbollah in Lebanon, and or like the Ayatollahs in Iran.
Yeah.
So you could get the Muslim Brotherhood.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Radical extremists.
Exactly.
Over Egypt, which would be terribly dangerous.
Absolutely.
Listen, and these are great questions, Anthony, and they're questions that Mr. Rumsfeld is going to answer better than almost anybody in the world.
Yeah.
But I still want to know if he's a lizard.
And if he is, stop it.
If he's tasted human flesh.
No, stop.
I just want to know.
Mr. Rumsfeld, again, I want to apologize for Louis C.K. He's a stand-up comedian. He's playing at the Borgata.
It's
go to
a legitimate.
Borgata.com.
Look, if he's a lizard who has eaten people,
don't encourage him. It'll just make him worse.
See, and
I will stop the
Mr.
second I
Rumsfeld.
get a denial. I'll stop asking.
Tell Louis that my grandchildren are listening.
See?
Well, listen,
Grandchildren
they have a right to know too.
No, he's not a lizard, and he's not tasted human flesh.
But you're answering. That's easy for you to say.
I can answer because I know the guy is a great American, a great patriot.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
He's done great things for this country. And
yes, Anthony, is he a lizard? Is Dick Cheney a lizard?
No, they're not. They are people.
Any Mexican babies? Have they eaten any human beings?
Stop it. Stop it. I know, Mr. Rumsfeld, I apologize. Louis C.K. is...
I paid for this microphone, mister.
He's
I
trying
want
to
an
be
answer.
Funny. I don't understand it. Where do you see the where do you see the 2012 elections going? Do you see the Republicans taking the White House again? And who do you see as maybe a good front runner for the Republicans?
You know, I don't think there is one. I think it's one of those rare times when there's not an incumbent president running, and there's not a vice president running, and there's not an obvious person. And I think what we ought to do is watch them run around the track a while and see how they handle things. It's a tough job, as President Obama is finding out. It's a lot easier to campaign than
exactly.
And so I think we ought to watch all these candidates. There's some terrific ones running, and I think some of them have executive experience. Some of them have a lot of legislative experience. And see how they handle. Because what's going to happen is they're going to get asked tough questions. They're going to get put in difficult positions. And we're going to then be able to see how their brains work, how they react, how they handle things, what kind of people they recruit for their campaign team, how effective they are in organizing. And all of those are attributes that are helpful for a president.
Before the Lizard Council meets.
All right,
and decides who will appoint.
The Lizard Council doesn't appoint a president. And he's not part of the Lizard Council.
If they do, don't you want to know?
No.
Don't you at least want to give him a chance to say, no, I'm not a lizard?
I don't want to picture Donald Rumsfeld on the other end of this phone listening to you asking
with red lizard
questions.
eyes.
No, he's not with Mr. Rumsfeld. Again, with the 2012 elections, wouldn't it be good to, and I always wonder why this doesn't happen sooner, to start really grooming a good candidate now? They always seem, the Republicans always seem to wait till the last minute to really kind of get together and get a candidate there, a viable candidate that could take on a Democrat, especially an incumbent.
Well, I think that's true of both political parties. If you think back to the Democratic primary that Mr. Obama won, and I think the reason for that is there's no senior council of leading Democrats or leading Republicans who can go into a smoke-filled room and start grooming somebody. It's the American people and the parties, the people of each party that end up picking these candidates.
But it does seem like it would be a lot more advantageous, especially for the party, if they would kind of work together instead of everybody trying to get their piece of the presidency, to just work together and get a candidate, a viable candidate to run that would really have a shot at winning.
Well, and of course, a primary process can produce a mistake, and you could end up with a candidate who's not very good.
Exactly. And I don't think we want to see that. I definitely don't want to see another 4 years of Barack Obama.
No, I know.
That's for sure.
Incumbents, often get reelected, and I think the Republicans are going to have to be careful not to overreach and to manage their affairs in a way that are responsible and yet address what the American people really care about. And my goodness, this administration has served up a number of targets. How anyone can think that the budget President Obama put forward is responsible is beyond me.
Yeah.
The debt in this country is crushing, and it's going to damage this generation and future generations unless people have the courage to step up and deal with it.
What was it like when you met? There's a picture of you shaking hands with Saddam Hussein. Like, what was that day like? The day you met that dude.
Oh, that famous
the
picture.
dude who
Yes.
later was hung in a badly lit room.
I tried to tell Louis that was indeed during the time when he was
That does not.
an
I'm just
ally
curious what that day was
and,
like.
And was okay.
I'm just
all right.
curious. What was that like
fair
to
enough.
meet that fella?
Fair enough.
Well, it was. I was in Baghdad at the request of President Reagan, and I kind of described this in my book. I met the night before with Tariq Assis, the deputy prime minister, and then the next morning I was invited in to be with Saddam Hussein. And the reason that Secretary Shultz and President Reagan and I all agreed that it made sense was Saddam Hussein was in a war with Iran and had taken our embassy people hostage and was very hostile to the United States. The United States did not have diplomatic relations with Iraq, and the thought was that you know, the old adage, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
How did we manage to get crossways with the two big countries in that region, both of them, and yet they were hostile to each other?
Right.
So we felt that it was a good idea to see if we could reestablish relations, and that ultimately was done shortly after my visit. Now, what was it like? You walk in, there's a Middle Eastern despot. Is he a good guy or a Democrat? No. He's a thug. And he's in fatigues, and he's got a pistol on his hip, and he's a tough guy and not a good guy. On the other hand, people in Iran were worse. And when you get up in the morning and look around the world, you know, there are not a lot of George Washingtons or Abraham Lincolns. We have to deal with people who aren't perfect on occasion.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to tell Louis.
And then, so how many guys do you think you've met that died by hanging?
That's a good question.
Yeah, more than one.
Yeah.
More than one.
More than one, see?
Yeah.
I've never met anybody who... I met a girl who hung herself, but I've never met anybody who was sentenced to hang.
He's had to deal with thugs during his career at some point.
Sure.
He's, you know, the world... And a lot of people judge things, I've noticed, Mr. Rumsfeld, a lot of people judge things based on what's going on now. They don't take it in the context of the history and what was going on at the time. Now, during the Cold War, I think we were willing, as Americans and the press, to accept a lot more covert action on the part of the government for our own safety than we are now. Do you think that's a better thing, that there's so much more information available now, or is it kind of a good thing for the government to have maybe a little bit of a little more covertness in their actions?
Oh, I think you're right. I think that we live in a world where there are relatively few countries that are like we are.
Yes.
Political systems, and that means that we have got to have intelligence gathering activities if we're going to protect the American people.
Exactly.
Well, hey, American safety is like the biggest deal to us. American defense. We've got to keep the American people safe. But what if a whole lot of people in other places have to die in order for us to be safe? Like, what if you found out that a lot of America was going to get hurt unless we just took France and just wiped it out? Would you trade France?
Hypothetical.
Would you trade France for Texas and Arizona?
Can you imagine if I answered that question?
Thank you.
What the
Thank
news
you.
lead would be?
Exactly.
It would be like answering your earlier question, where I would deny that I'm something that you asked me.
Right. He's not going to deny he's a lizard.
But he hasn't officially denied it.
What would be hurt by denying that you're a lizard?
I did not just arrive in town falling off a turnip.
There are no turnip carts in New York City.
Well, he didn't fall off of one.
No, I
regardless.
totally understand. But no, that's fascinating to me. What would be hurt by denying? And I'm not going to ask you to deny it now. I'm more interested in what would be hurt if you denied that you're a lizard.
Justifying the question.
Sorry I brought it up. I apologize.
No.
But I mean, we like to think that we're a comedy show, so we're just kind of asking a silly question.
But that
here,
is
Mr.
fascinating
Rumsfeld.
to me, that saying I am not a lizard might be dangerous. I want to know how it might hurt. Wait, how would it hurt your credibility?
What just happened?
How did this happen?
There's a guy laughing in the background that is looking up our addresses now.
Mr. Rumsfeld, notice that Anthony Cumia is
a true patriot.
Right behind you. I love your book, Donald Rumsfeld, Known and Unknown Memoir. In bookstores now. This thing really flying off the shelves too.
I want to ask Mr. Rumsfeld his opinion on the unions right now. It's a big topic out there.
Well, it is, and what we've got is a government, an administration that, according to the data, has fewer people who've ever been in business than any administration in modern history. And what you've got is a lot of people who are lawyers and professional government people, and they don't have the business background. They have very close connections to the unions, and I'm terribly worried about the way that our trade relations are going around the country. The president and the administration have been responding to pressure from the unions with respect to the trade deal with South Korea, the trade agreement with Colombia. Here's Colombia, an important country in our hemisphere, and we've been stiffing them and not. We're missing what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. In Asia, there are all kinds of trade agreements, and the United States is absent without leave. We're not engaged in doing it. And I think the answer is it's because of the unions. And we're at a first point in our country's history where there are more union members who are government employees than there are who are in the private sector.
That's a conflict, if you ask me.
Well, it's a worry.
Yeah.
And I think it's also not surprising, then, to note that the average pay of government employees is now higher than in the private sector.
That's not right.
And of course,
why is that not right?
Because it should be the other way around.
Well, of course,
teachers are government employees, right?
And the jobs and the products and the opportunities are all in the private sector, not in government.
Right.
But a teacher is a public employee, right? Is a unionized public employee.
Yeah.
So they should be paid well, right?
Well, it's not a matter of being paid well.
But they should have the power to get together and bargain for better pay and better benefits, right?
Well, if you look around at the school systems, they are in trouble, and they're not providing the kind of education for kids, and so the system isn't working perfectly. Mm-hmm. My wife Joyce started the Chicago Foundation for Education because the Chicago school system was described as the worst school system in America 25 years ago.
Wow.
And here's a great city, a wonderful city, and it had a school system that the Secretary of Education labeled the worst. Now, why is that? It isn't because people are bad. It's because the process isn't working. There wasn't any choice. People didn't have a choice. They paid their taxes, and they had to go to school in their neighborhood, and they didn't have choice. I'm a Milton Friedman fan. I think giving school vouchers so that parents and kids can make those choices, and pretty soon the schools that nobody wants to choose have to disappear, and the schools where people want to go succeed because they get a good education, they prosper.
Yeah, but American public schools used to be great, and now they're not. So for years and years, they did well without vouchers and charter schools, and then all of a sudden, money got taken out of those systems, and now they're suffering. And then the people that took the money out point at the system and go, "Ha, you suck because I took your money away." So now we're gonna. So what happened? Why did they work before?
I don't think that's the case. What you just said. I don't think that the reason the schools are not doing well today is because the money's not there. I think that you look at the average price that we're paying per student or per school, and it's quite high. It just isn't producing the kind of results that a more competitive system would.
Mm-hmm. How come it worked before, though? When it was simpler, most people went to public schools, and you could just go walk down to your public school and get a great education. Like, how come there's a decline when it was working without the competition?
I think probably it was a result of the fact that we were more of a rural country. We had much more parental involvement. There was more smaller elements, and then as we became more of an urbanized country, there was more distance between parents in the schools, more distance between government in the schools, and they just deteriorate.
And teaching the basics of what people need to know instead of a lot of political correct gibberish
really? You think
that
that's
are in the schools now. I believe that, Louis.
Is teaching evolution? That's what hurt the schools?
No, I'm not saying that. I just think that there's a lot going on in schools that has nothing to do with educating the students and preparing them for life.
I could be wrong, but I think there might have been one other thing. You know, for years we had the draft. And we excluded people from the draft who were students, teachers, or married. And as a result, people who did not want to serve in the military kind of gravitated to getting married or becoming a teacher or becoming a student. And so over time, you had a bifurcation of a generation. And that group is now just about retiring.
Right.
The all-volunteer military came in under the Nixon administration in the late 1960s and early 1970s. And so all of those people that up to 1970 now, of course, would be 30, 40 years later. So if they became teachers in the ages of 20, 25, 30, they'd now be retiring.
Yeah. Hey, did he answer the question about unions? Are you for or against the unions, sir?
What do you mean? I've got no problem with unions. Yeah. What I have a problem with is if unions end up exerting an undue influence in what's taking place in our country and stopping the United States of America from participating in free trade agreements around the world, which are the kinds of things that help to create jobs.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
But if the jobs are in other places and what... I mean, if the United States is getting to compete, who is the United States at that point? Is it General Electric and Walmart? Or is it actual people who live in these places like Wisconsin who are asking to be able to sue for their own rights as a union?
Well, if the governor up there, I'm not knowledgeable about Wisconsin. I'm from New Mexico, as the cover of my book shows.
No, you got a polar fleece on.
A handsome picture.
But my recollection is that the governor ran on a platform of doing exactly what he's doing, addressing the fact that the state is bankrupt. And how does he fix that? Well, he can't fix it if the unions won't let him. And he's going to have to find a way to put that state on an upward path rather than allowing it continue to go down, spending more than they take in.
Exactly.
And if the unions are going to try to prevent that, he has to do something about that.
I got an observation. You sound just like Dr. Demento.
What? Dr. Demento.
Someone's going to appreciate that out there.
Why, somebody?
The Funny Five.
The guy used to do the funny radio thing.
Yes, you got the exact same voice.
Well, he's got a very distinctive voice. I know you could always tell Donald Rumsfeld when he was on TV, even from the other room. You have a very strong, distinct voice. I have a couple of questions just out of curiosity I want to ask you, Mr. Rumsfeld. What type of aircraft did you fly?
I was flying, the last plane I flew was an S-2F, which was a Grumman anti-submarine plane.
Oh, it's cool.
Did you have more capability to fly it because of your lizard reflexes?
Stop it!
I've got a thought for you.
Okay, good.
Folks are looking for a present for friends of yours. I spent 8 days recording the unabridged version of my book.
Ooh.
About 8 hours a day, and if you want to hear the voice...
And the voice, right.
What you do is you buy the unabridged version of the book, and then you can play it in your car when you're going to and from work, and I'll be right there with you.
I think you need that, Louie.
I'll be right there with you.
You absolutely do. I want to ask you one more thing, because I know you got to go soon. I'm a very, very strong advocate of the Second Amendment. I'm a lifetime member of the NRA. Are you a member of the NRA?
I'm not sure if I am right now. I have been, and I think I am.
And are you an avid shooter? Because I am, and I love it.
I have guns. I have rifles and shotguns and pistols and at various locations, and I'm an elk hunter out in New Mexico.
So you're a strong advocate of the Second Amendment, as I am, sir?
Have you ever shot a person?
No.
No.
That's a great question.
I think everybody should be asked that.
No, have you shot
a person? He was the Secretary of Defense. He was in charge of everybody that America killed for a very long time.
Oh, stop it.
I've been shot at. Does that count?
He's been shot at. That's crazy.
Next to President Ford when the bullet went right by his head and right by my head into the hotel in San Francisco.
Wow. Yeah. That was that crazy.
Were you ever shot at with any other, besides bullets, like plasma rays or anything else that are used
space
to take down?
Would you stop it, Louie?
Flesh-eating space lizards.
My God, man.
Who eat the poor.
Donald Rumsfeld, Known and Unknown, a memoir. I suggest anybody that's interested in the history of this fine country and the history of a patriot and this fine man, go out and buy this book. Thank you, Donald Rumsfeld. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy being with you.
I'm pretty sure you're a
Thanks,
lizard.
Sir. He's not a
All right, that was amazing. I'm gonna end the stream here because, as you can see, every single stop has no loot, so I think the game's bugged out. But that was just hilarious watching or listening to Opie and Anthony, Louis C.K. and Donald Rumsfeld. All right, well, it was not a complete failure, however, gameplay-wise, because I did get a car for Trip Nasty, and I organized my car as well, and it's running really great right now. So I think I'm going to end the stream here. This is part 4. So yeah, stay tuned for part 5, which should be more co-op gameplay tomorrow. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe. I'll leave a link to the podcast that we were just listening to if you want to listen to the full one. And props to that guy for uploading it. He's got tons of Opie and Anthony content, so make sure you check his channel out as well. All right, thanks all. See you next time.